So today let's address the question of where do bar chords come from? No, the stocks do not bring them. They come from this system called the caged system or the caged template. That's C, A, G, E, and D. And those stand for the open chords or the major chords, C major, A major, G major, E major, and D major. Now they're called open chords simply because they have open strings and we play them in the first position. Now, here's what happens, right? On the neck of the guitar, everything moves forward, to put it simply, in an alphabetical manner, this very linear manner. So we know that in music, in the language of music, A through G, every chord has a sharp in between. Moving forward, you have sharps. Moving backwards, you have flats. So if you were to take a single note, let's take the high E string that I just played. The next note is an F because E and B do not have sharps. So the next chord is an F. If I move forward from here, that's an F sharp. If I move forward, that's G. So that's how you move up note by note, and you probably learned that at some point. The same thing happens with chords. If I play a C, and if I move up, that's a C sharp. And we'll get into why it sounded like that. If I move up further, that's actually a D or D major, and it doesn't sound all that bad. We'll get into that as well. So now here's the question of why do bar chords even come into the picture?
Well, there is this one thing.
What is it? Tell me.
No, I couldn't. I mean,
What is it?
You know, I just never really had the guts to tell Gloria how
What
I
is
feel
it?
about her. How I've.
Please tell
I never really
me.
had the guts to.
Because they can be difficult, and they are they take time to master, or even get used to, really. So when we move our open shapes forward, all right, when we move our open shapes forward, we're moving all the notes forward by one fret, but we have open strings. So if you want to move the entire chord forward to get all the right notes for that chord, you also have to play the next note for the open strings. So if I'm on C, G is open and E is open. So if I move forward to C sharp, the notes I need to play are a G sharp and an F. So what do? I use a bar, and I play the rest of the chord the same shape with the remaining fingers. My index finger is used as the bar. What I'm doing, in essence, is moving the nut position forward, right? So if I play this now, see that? And if I move forward, now I'm on D major, right? Okay? So if I use the C shape and I bar the open strings and I move forward to whichever chord I want, that's my C-shaped bar chord. So this is where bar chords came from.
Finally.
Where you want to compensate for the notes, the open strings that need to be moved forward. All right? Let's go to the next shape. That's the A. If you bend your finger enough, you can get the high E as well. Right? A lot of people will also play it like this. Same concept. If I want to move this chord shape forward, for example, to get, let's go to E major this time, up here. I also need to compensate for my open A string and my open E string. So what do? I use my index as a bar, and I'll move all the way up here, and I'll play that bar chord. And you can modify, so you would probably come across modified shapes. All right? So that's your A bar chord. G is slightly more complicated. Same concept. If I want to play A, I shift forward. But now I need to bar all my open strings in between. That's the D, G, and B string. I'm going to bar it here, and I'm going to play G like this, or the G shape like this to get A major. Alright? The E major bar chord is the most popular one. So you take your E major shape, let's say we want to play G, we move forward to the right position, and there we go. You're basically playing an E major shape, but you've moved it forward. So what you're doing is basically transposing the way you would transpose on a keyboard. The final shape is D major. Alright? Now if I were to move this forward, let's say to play E, alright, my root or the open string is D. So it needs to move forward here. And this is my D shape bar chord, and I'm playing an E major. The difference between the D bar chord and the C bar chord is my root note is on the 5th string for the C shape bar chord, and my root note for the D bar chord or the D shape is on the 4th string. Alright? And different variations of these shapes can be used for convenience. So this is where bar chords come from. Now to make life easier, people will say use a capo.
If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
Let's play G, but using the E shape. Here you go. You have your index finger that's now substituted with the capo, and you can play a E shape, but what you're actually doing is you're just playing the bar chord, right? Which is great, which is fine if that's what you need to do. If you want maximum open strings, which is a good choice. If you're playing the acoustic guitar, you want more open strings, that's always nice. However, if you're playing a very specific arrangement or you have a very specific idea and the sound quality is specific to that chord shape, it's that chord shape that will make it sound really wonderful and that much nicer, then it's really a good idea to work and invest time in building up your skills to play bar chords. So they are really a great tool. I hope that cleared up or answered the question of where do bar chords come from. The question is not where they're coming from, but where are they going and what you will do with them.